Life is tough for a man. It is a hard world for a man.
Yeah.
And for them to wake up every single day and still push through it, you all do not get enough credit.
You really do not get enough credit for you to get up every day and constantly be grinding, constantly be proving yourself as a man, constantly be challenged by other men, by other prideful men.
And then prideful women on top of that, masculine women who genuinely try to manipulate these men.
Respect to the men who don't let any of that break them.
They're in complete attack against masculinity. And I think there's a growing awakening of men who are saying, you know what? They stole something from me that is my birthright, and I want it back. That's why beards have made a comeback. I think the other side has gone too far, and people started waking up and said, hey, wait a minute. I am not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed of being a man. I love women. I respect women, but I don't want to be a woman. I don't want to look like a woman. I don't want to act like a woman. I don't want to think like a woman. I don't want to feel like a woman. I'm a man, so I do man stuff.
What's the number one thing that makes women feel unsafe from the man they're with?
I would say that showing a complete disregard for her emotional well-being. And that doesn't have to be sleeping. It doesn't have to go that far to sleeping with other women. It might be as simple as not replying to her messages or, you know, behaving online, like liking it. I know it sounds so bizarre, but you'll be so surprised at how unsafe a woman can feel simply by watching whose pictures he's liking and commenting and saving. It's such a simple thing from a man. But from a woman's perspective, it almost ignites her fight or flight response. Is that weird to a man?
The funny thing is that even when men are not doing anything, modern women are still trying to hold them accountable.
I'm a girl who's always had to technically be on the masculine side of things. So I don't have a problem stepping into my femininity when you're being the man you need to be. Like if I'm being too
Listen, men ain't falling for that no more. I'm being honest with you. We're not falling for that no more. Either come feminine or don't come at all, bro.
You gotta do the work prior to meeting that person to be your feminine self.
But I am feminine.
Flashback.
Well, I have my masculine name already, and it's Maurice. Yeah, I'm very masculine. Me and my sister, we're both very masculine. I'm mainly going to be in that masculine. My hyper independency is what makes me so masculine.
If you give her a chance to be submissive, then she'll be submissive.
Yeah, you know how to turn it on and off.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I don't know who this is for, but I'm going to need you to stop calling it love when it feels like constant anxiety. Because love doesn't make you second guess your worth, doesn't leave you confused about where you stand, and it definitely doesn't require you to play small in order to keep it. At some point along the way, your quest for love requires you to check in on your self-respect. Because if you have to chase and convince and constantly decode someone's behaviors, in many ways that's you abandoning your self-respect. And if you're really honest with yourself, you'll realize that you didn't fall in love. You just got used to their inconsistency and their low efforts feeling like a big deal. If that's the case, hear me clearly when I say this. You don't need more love. You don't need a partner. You need more self-respect. That's the real level up. Keep on loving yourself first, best, and always. And I'll see you in the next one.
I'm 54, and let me tell you something about going back to the past. Sometimes the reason you're still entertaining your ex is because you haven't met anyone new who feels safe enough to replace the fantasy. You don't even miss them. You miss the feeling of being chosen, the attention, the connection, the comfort of something dangerously familiar. But let's not confuse history with future, because deep down, you know it wasn't working. You know it wasn't enough. You know if it really had potential, you wouldn't have had to let it go in the first place. But when you're in that in-between space, when no one new has stepped in yet, the past looks good when the present is empty. You start replaying all the highlight reels and forgetting all the reasons why it ended or why you needed to walk away. That's not love, babe. That's loneliness wearing his cologne or her perfume. So before you call them back or text them just to check in, ask yourself this. Do I actually want them? Or do I just want the version of me that I used to be when I was with them? You don't miss the person. You miss the memory. and you're allowed to leave it right there. Hope that helps.
A lot of these modern women, they don't understand with their words in their list. What they're actually trying to do is control a man and what he does. And they're going to get mad when he's not the quote unquote alpha that they're looking for.
There's a moment most women never ever see coming. And that's when Mr. Nice Guy just stopped being Mr. Nice Guy. There's no warning, no speech, no big argument. One day he just woke up and started moving different. And that's the part that throws a lot of people off. Because he wasn't complaining before. He was just showing up, saying yes, adjusting, going out of his way to make sure everything ran smooth. So when the switch happened, it kind of feels random, but it's not. It's been building every time he ignored what bothered him. Every time he chose peace over honesty. Every time he gave more than he had and told himself it was just part of being Mr. Nice Guy. Until one day, something small happens. Nothing too big, nothing dramatic. And he pauses and he thinks and something becomes clear to him.
And these modern women continue to say silly things like, well, men don't yearn anymore. Well, yeah, because yearning got a man friend zone. Simping got a man friend zone. And a man spent a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of time, and a whole bunch of energy messing around with you, and it got him nowhere.
Why is it okay to demonize entire groups of people? Oh, wait, it's not. Yet, this is becoming an ever increasingly popular trend that I keep seeing, especially on social media. And unfortunately, it's not just one group of people that this is happening to. It's multiple groups of people. Because there are some out there that unfortunately, mistakenly believe that an entire population of people should be held responsible and accountable for the actions of some members of that group that decide to do unfortunate things. Now, please tell me, on what plane of existence does that make sense? Because I, quite frankly, have yet to discover that plane. So if someone knows where it is, please let me know. But my question is, what exactly is the overall goal of those individuals that are doing such things? It's certainly not to bring unity and understanding. If anything, it seems that they're trying to divide individuals more. But a person has to wonder, why exactly are they doing that?
You know, men will do a lot for you. A lot of these things that you're asking, they'll do it. But they'll start doing it. But then once they figure out, oh, she don't really respect me. That's when they start to pull back and you be like, you know, he was doing these things in the beginning. Well, did you look at your own behavior and see what you was doing or not doing?
6 foot, if it matters. 6'1", if it matters. 6'4", if it matters. Let's grab a drink. Let's grab a drink. Let's grab a drink. Let's skip the small talk and go straight to the drink. I never checked this thing. Hit me up on IG if you want to talk. I'm looking for someone who's passionate about fitness. Looking to make some new connections. Just moved here. Show me around. I'm looking for a reason to delete this app. Are you that reason? I'm athletic and nerdy. ENTJ. 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 Big math nerd here. I'm looking for that spark. What do I find sexy? Ambition. I'm just checking this out, seeing where things go. I love eating food and drinking liquids. I prefer to skip the small talk and do something crazy, like a hike. I'm not good at writing these things. If you want to know something, just ask. Career-oriented guy. Pretty unique guy here. Can go from going out with friends to watching a movie. ENTJ.
Babe, I get money for my nails? Yeah, of course. I got money. Yeah, of course. Here you go, babe. And then my friend's nails, too. Ah, money for your friend's nails, too. How many of you are going? There's 3 of us. All right, yeah. I got enough money for you guys. Wait, you can't forget about lunch. About lunch. Silly me for the 3 of you guys, right? All right, yeah. I got it. And then me and my girls are going shopping spree. How can I forget the shopping spree?
The sad reality is when a woman does find a man that's pretty much like this and he gives everything that he possibly can, she doesn't end up respecting him. She'll end up draining him and then she leaves him for somebody else. It gives her so much less. And unfortunately, when these men are constantly showing up with consistency, she takes them for granted. The thing is, a woman that truly loves you will want you to be financially stable and spend your money wisely. Like, yeah, she'll enjoy a treat from you here and there. Maybe if you offer to pay for her nails or take her to lunch or whatever, but she won't expect you to pay for her friends too. And she'll want to make sure that you're heading towards your financial goals, whether that's investing or saving. She won't just sit there and take from you. And it's so sad because the sweet guys out there who are like this end up getting hurt the most.
A lot of these men have learned, or they're learning, that they're only welcome if they've been pre-approved. They're only welcomed if I'm attractive to you. If I come up and I try to approach you, just being a nice person, you're going to treat me like I'm a creep just because I'm not attracted to you. I'm not attractive to you.
I heard a quote today and it hit a little different, and it said, sometimes nothing good happens to you because you are the good that happens to others. And man, that one stuck with me. Yeah. Because if you've ever felt like you're out here giving your all, showing up for everybody, holding it together, being the strong one, but nothing ever seems to come back your way, this might be why you see you are the blessing. The way you love, the way you protect, the way you pour into people and stay solid in your character. Even when you're exhausted, that's what keeps others going. Maybe you're not being overlooked. Maybe you were built to make an impact. And yeah, I know it gets heavy. I know it feels unfair sometimes, you and me both, but don't let that make you forget who you are, because people like you don't just show up. You hold entire worlds together without anyone noticing. Your presence is the calm in storms, your love is the anchor, and your strength is the reason others don't fall apart. One day, someone will see that in you. They won't drain your light. They'll match it and finally pour back into you.
Why are so many women choosing to stay single? And I completely agree that you are probably about to see a lot of interesting responses in this here comment section. I also think men say they want these answers, but then when they are faced with them, have a visceral or automatic reaction that allows them to disregard or say, that isn't me, I'm not doing that. We are the only species that I can think of on the planet that can actually have intellectual intercourse with our potential mates before we even pursue them. Like, we can get an inside guide, a primer to what they want. But all of that is for naught if you do not practice the most important step when we ask a question like this. And that would be to sit back, hold your mouth, and listen. Because you are likely about to see a lot of recurring themes in this comment section. In fact, I will bet my left nut, I will bet you both that you will see a lot of similar answers as to what women want and why they are choosing to stay single. Now that you've had a minute to mentally prepare yourself, let's go ahead and open that comment section and do some mental growth.
I think a lot of these men understand now that there's, really only one wrong read that you can have. You go in the grocery store, read the situation wrong, even though they're selling all, and the signs are pretty clear. No, they're not really, because one wrong read and you call me a creep. I don't have time for that.
And most people are worried about what to say. What should I say? How should I say it? I've been asked those questions thousands of times. And yes, words matter. You tell a man, we have an issue. Oh, by definition, can't be solved. Why should we even talk about it? Right? I have a problem. Do you have a problem? How can I help you? Right? Like, words matter. But being is the universal language. Being. So how are you being in that instance of being related? That's what's going to cause the outcome. And we got to see it when we started our workshops, that in one day, women seeing what they were doing to men, how it was antagonizing them and bringing out the worst in them, seeing how they justified doing it, but it still didn't make it work. And it was giving them everything they didn't want. And then most of them, not all, having the courage to give it up. Just as I was asked, stop, Allison, stop.
A lot of these men don't mind putting in the effort for you, man. I'm telling you, You want a man that will quote unquote simp for you? A lot of these men will do it. It's just like, you guys be so disrespectful that a man's like, no, I'm not gonna, you don't even like me, man. What am I? You don't even give me anything back. You don't even buy me anything. Why would I continue to do things for you?
How many of you identify as strong, independent women where you got your own back and you are going for it and you are paying all the bills and you are doing all the things? Most women raised their hands, right? We had a lot of strong, independent women in the room. Beautiful. Yes, I identify as that too, right? I said, now put your hands up if you're tired. All of them put their hand up. Said, now put your hand up if you just want to be held. Everyone put their hand up. Like, now put your hand up if you want to just relinquish a little bit of that because you just don't want to hold it all anymore. And you want somebody to come and hold you. Hands up. So what that points to is that we have been conditioned to praise and celebrate success and independence and I got me as the solve for happiness. But if we actually check in and tune in with our bodies, the answer lies there. So if your body is saying that that's working, great. But if your body is telling you a different story, it's time to tune in and take some accountability there. And I think a lot of women, like, burnout in women is at its highest it's ever been. And like I said, it's not an either or. You get to have both, but where it comes from is different.
You know, women are asking why men don't yearn, but when a man yearns, he's getting exploited. That's what's happening, right? The more he wants you, because you don't know how to handle a man's emotions efficiently or correctly, then you use that as leverage. And so men have learned to stop giving you the leverage that you need, talking about, oh, I love you so much, you yearn for me. No, you don't. You don't even like me. You just like the attention and the validation.
I don't care where. Can you let a girl know? I need, hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Scaring me. I just got hit on harder than I ever have in my entire life. I don't know how to process this. It just happened. And I mean, so the guy rides by on his bike and then I start filming a video. And so he turns around and stops right in front of me while I'm filming. And he... And he basically, you know, he greets, hi, my name is whatever. And then he's like, can I sit down? I was like, sure. And so I move over to this side of the bench, right? And he sits right here and man spreads. And so I'm like, and he was very straightforward. He basically, you know, got around to the point of, yeah, I knew what his intentions were. And he's like, yeah, so you don't like go hook up or anything? Or, and I was like, no. And he's like, you're single though, right? And I was like, yes. And so you don't want to go hook up? No. And I mean, he was very straightforward, so good for him. And I mean, I knew what he wanted and I didn't want that, but oh man, it was, I don't know how to process it. What just happened? What just happened? No stinking way. I've never met a man so...
You gotta watch this.
Women are like the greatest gift from nature. Until you see yourself as whole and complete, you are not going to see the true beauty and gift of women. They want good, honest, well-intentioned men to show up and love and appreciate them just as they are. That's what allows their full potential to shine through. You got men who are masquerading as men who are still little boys because they've never looked at and faced themselves truly and felt the feelings and been confronted with the patterns and the fears and the insecurities that they've come up with. By never sitting and facing it, we run from it. And what's the way to run from it? You follow the concept of the material, which is become more stronger, become more successful, gain more things. And if you're weak and small on the inside, but on the outside want to look big and strong, you're going to go out there and you're going to hurt women, you're going to betray women. We as men should be like, wow, they're our divine gift from God. Let's protect them. All of them, not just the one we love. And let's can call out that bro who's treating that one the way she shouldn't be treated. But I feel in order to come to understand that, you got to be willing to face it, man. You got to be honest with yourself, see things about yourself and your experiences and life that you can now let go of.
If you want to be spiritually encouraged, then follow and subscribe for more content just like this.
A lot of these modern women like to comment on a man's masculinity. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Well, I believe a man should be this, and this. right? But I think the problem is a lot of these modern women really don't have a concept of what a man is. You can have an opinion, but the unfortunate thing for a lot of these modern women is their opinion is wrong. Their opinion of what a man is and what a man should be is wrong. That's not actually how a man works. That's not actually how masculinity works. They don't know that. They're just talking about what they read in some book somewhere.
All right, I need y'all to settle an argument for me before I get a divorce. So I'm making some chicken tenders on the grill, right? It's me, my wife, her daughter, my daughter. They don't like barbecue sauce. She's furious. She's pissed off at me right now because there's something to do with the way this chicken looks. Can somebody tell me? She's like, so this is the one you made for you and your daughter, and this is the one you made for me and my daughter. And I'm like, yeah, this is why I put barbecue sauce on this one because you guys said you don't like barbecue sauce. See, this is like the last couple pieces that'll go there to make the piles just as big. But she's like, you don't see anything wrong with this. And I'm like, what should I see wrong with it? I see 2 piles of chicken. Mine and my daughters have barbecue sauce because we like that, and yours don't because you got. What did I do wrong? Okay, real quick, now that the rest of the tenders are off, their pile actually looks bigger, in my opinion, which I don't know. She won't tell me what is wrong. She just keeps saying, you can't tell me what's wrong with this. You can't look at this and tell me what's wrong with this. This is one you made for us, and that's one you made for you. Like, what did I do wrong?
Oh, this poor man is so frustrated. I think what's going on is that her and her daughter's chicken doesn't look as good as yours and your daughter's chicken. The big debate that's going on in the comments is who is in the wrong. In my opinion, it would have been nice for him to take that extra step and marinate that chicken in a different flavor or season it differently instead of just leaving it plain. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it should have been expected of him. She's in the wrong for getting upset over her expectation, and definitely in the wrong for then stonewalling him because she won't actually say the words to tell him what is wrong. But then he's in the wrong for putting this on social media. They're both in the wrong. They just need to say sorry and remember that they don't need to get a divorce over chicken tenders.
I've accepted that I'm probably going to be single my whole life at this rate because every guy I think is cute apparently has like 5,000 other people on him. Body inflation is way too real. Everyone's got a ridiculous body nowadays. I just can't compete, bro. Y'all can have them. I'm out. I'm good.
Now, let me tell you something that I'm learning. Okay, you have to give that man more respect than you give him love. Now, we're women, we're full of love, most of us, but we hurt people that we love, we lie to people we love, we disrespect people that we love. Now, when you respect somebody, you're usually a little bit more cognizant of the actions you make surrounding that person. You're usually a little bit more aware. You'll take a little bit more time to think before you make a decision or before you make a move when it has any direct correlation with that person. So I say that to say, if you are with someone that you don't respect, you don't re-respect somebody. Think about that. Once you stop respecting somebody, nothing matters after that. Because hear me when I say this, a person who is disrespecting you, you're not as locked in as you think you are. And this is not pick me, because this absolutely goes both ways, but sis, understand me when I'm saying this too. If you're with a man that you're disrespecting, that's not your man. If you're with a man that you're comfortable enough to disrespect, you don't respect him as a leader, and his position in your life is not in the position that it's supposed to be in. So don't get offended, don't get mad. We just have to learn to respect more than we love. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're not attacks. I'm really trying to teach you how to get what you want. And fellas, when a woman gets to the point where she is so comfortable disrespecting you and acting up and cussing you out and acting a fool, what do you think is going to happen next? Because when we are respectful to a man, we're really locked into a man. We don't see anybody else. But once we're comfortable enough and we're trying to be toxic, and we're cussing and we're taking the alpha approach and we're being super masculine, that's not your girl.
Whenever I'm talking to a man and things are getting like cutesy and giddy and we're smitten, I just remember to tell myself that this is one-sided and only I'm feeling that, and everything he's saying is completely real. And it's I can feel happy in the moment, and it can be cute, and I can know that it's not real. And that's how I feel about men.
He's got to provide. Okay, well, you know what? He can provide. It may not be the way you want to live. Yep. And still put a roof over your head. He can still put, but it may not be how you want it. And see, that's where we're dealing with women right now. They have these grandeur ideas of what they think life is, and it's not realistic.
David Beckham buying his wife a brand new Rolls Royce. My man should do that.
But social media has ruined our world.
And that's how we're going to stick it to the men.
thing I didn't really anticipate in my life being single is that the more successful you get, the more single kind of hurts. You would think it would be the opposite. I don't know if I want to admit this on camera, but maybe somebody else is feeling like this and maybe they need to hear it. Okay. I am a very independent person. I pride myself on, like, I can do anything alone. You've seen me talk about it on here. But I'm at a point in my life right now where I am arguably the most successful I've ever been personally. I own my own home. I'm in my dream show in Las Vegas, about to start a top secret new project that is the first of its kind. Been doing commercials left and right.
The men won. They won. Ladies, I know some of y'all just can't wrap your mind around that feminism is the reason for your burnout.
This might piss some people off, but I just want to take a moment and say, thank goodness that so many of us are waking up to the fact that modern day feminism is a literal scam.
I'm trying to wrap my head around how us women were really brainwashed to believe that we were sticking it to the patriarchy by showing off all of our skin and making ourselves super available for where we're going to if we feel like it. No commitment needed. You don't have to do anything for us. We're just going to do it. And that's how we're going to stick it to the men. The men won. They won. Because we tried to stick it to them and tell them and show them how powerful we are and whatever by making ourselves more accessible to them and giving ourselves away freely to them. Like, what level of brainwashing did we go through? They won. They won.
Men have always been the prize. And I'm going to explain what I'm saying. Women marry who they can. Men marry who they want. You can get offended by the statement, but if you really sit down and you think about it and you be honest with yourself, that is a very valid statement. Also, not only that, but by him saying that he is the prize, that does not make her not a prize, especially with these days, the way that women are raising these young girls. And it's unfortunate, but and also the numbers. I will never let any of your daughters tell my son that he is not the prize. That will never be a...
Of course women love emotionally unavailable men because we're so emotional. We're too emotional. We need someone to balance it out. And in return, we help you because emotions is our forte. It's our specialty. Whereas solutions and logic can be your specialty. If we're upset about something, we want solutions. We want solutions more than you just having your own emotion about it.
There's a reason why the dress for the man is the same at a wedding and a funeral. You're saying goodbye to your previous self. The woman is the icon, the symbol of beauty, almost always in all white, right? Ascendant. The man is usually in black and white, like he's attending somebody, because it's of the bachelor mindset, it's promiscuity, it's the wandering eye, it's of immoral behavior, it's of texting girls casually, it's of I get to do what I want to do, it's of just going to the bar with friends, it's of acting like an infant, it's of playing video games till 1 a.m., and it's the birth of a man.
Do not marry someone that you never argue with. Marry someone you argue well with. That means that when you have an argument, you reach good compromises. You have a good recovery time. In other words, it doesn't take you days of miserable toxicity to get good again. It takes you minutes or hours. You're both good at coming to the table to apologize and soften. It's not always the same person who has to save the two of you every time you have an argument. And by the way, you only know these things by having hard conversations early on and being able to talk about the big stuff so that you know who you are when there are differences in opinions. And the goal isn't to agree on everything. You won't, and that's fine. But it is to make sure that you understand each other's expectations and you know ahead of time that you can handle the differences.
I have a question for everyone that lives in Austin, Texas. Specifically the men that live in Austin, Texas. Why the are you not going up to girls and approaching them anymore? Why is your favorite activity to just sit and stare at a girl like this? You're glitched, like you're loading. I spent the last 2 years of my college studying abroad in France, where the men would just come up to you on the street and propose. To go from that level of attention to coming back to Austin, having men that are so feminine that they won't even approach you at a bar unless they're blackout drunk, was an insane culture shock. I can't go from men coming up and asking me to marry them to this in Austin. So let me know which dating app I should get on, because apparently I can't meet anyone here in real life in Austin. Hinge is way too basic. Everyone complains about it. It is not good anymore. Poppy is the only other app that I've heard good things about, but I've been waiting 3 weeks for an access code, by the way. Do I keep waiting? What do I do? Because I'm trying to find the love of my life out here.
Women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time. I would argue in relationships, it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. He doesn't get youth anymore, so he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid, so he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her. And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kid, and she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it? But like men are logical. They're logical people, and so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for most men.
Cam Newton can't say it because Cam Newton is a man. I am a woman, and I am trying to tell you, if you have multiple children by multiple men, for whatever reason that may be, you lower your market value, meaning the odds of a high value, high earning masculine man are now lower. Granted that it doesn't sound right saying, oh, you lose your value. You do. You lose value. And nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to tell the truth, because then what happens? Women uproar and they say, oh my God, you're hurting us. That's bad for the culture. No, what's bad for the culture is us raising our daughters to be the type of women that think it's okay for us to be promiscuous and get baby mama to left and right. Yeah, that's what's wrong with our culture. That's the problem. So no, Cam, I'm with you 10,000%. You can retract your statement if you want to. I'm not retracting the statement. You absolutely will lose value if you choose to be a more promiscuous woman and get baby mama left and right. I don't care what anyone says. Now, I should say, there are exceptions to the rule. Most of us are not the exception.
Okay, this girl posted an amazing video where she was basically like, why have gender role responsibilities for women increased in modern times while they've literally seemed to stay the same or decreased for men? She's so freaking right. She said that her grandpa like literally built a house with his bare hands, okay, for his family, but that her boyfriend like struggled to build IKEA furniture or like mount a picture frame or something. But at the same time, women are now expected to still take care of the home, still be a great mom, be the primary labor, be the primary caregiver, birth the baby, somehow still stay hot, still stay looking good, work a full-time job, while most men are just like regressing. Honestly, if you can't find a guy who can actually add tangible value to your life, I always say it's better to stay single, girls. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Please only enter a relationship that actually benefits you instead of draining your freaking soul out. And I know there are not a lot of men out there who are actually good prospects, so you have to be okay with being alone. Don't settle. If you make your happiness a priority, will eventually attract the same. And a man who truly values your happiness is the only kind of guy you should get with.
I don't know about you, but I think guys put themselves in the friend zone. I don't think women do it. Because to me, if a guy is placed in the friend zone, he has placed himself in there because he had the anticipation that he was going to date a woman or get to sleep with a woman, and she said no. So it's easier for him to put a label on the rejection so that he doesn't feel rejected, and then that places the blame on the woman because she's the one who said no. If a woman says no, it's because she's not interested. If she's not interested, it's not because you're not a good person, it's just that you're not a match for her. So as a guy, you need to be able to understand that you are going to have rejections. That's just part of the process. And it doesn't mean that we've friend zoned you or we've put you in the nice guy category. You've placed yourself there in order to feel better about a situation in which you were rejected. And again, it's okay to be rejected.
it's just a redirection saying that you are not a fit for said person. But if you want to continue to pursue said person and you are still attracted to said person and you say, well, you friend zoned me, you're the one saying that the woman said no and you didn't feel good about it. Do you think I'm right or do you think I'm wrong? Put it in the comments.
I need a man powerful and strong and knows what he wants, you know?
What's some of your deal breakers?
Deal breakers? What you want versus what you gonna help me get. If there's nothing after that, then...
Like, what's the deal breaker, like, in a woman?
a deal breaker, I don't have no deal breakers if that's the case. Like, she cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What's the reason you pop?
I pop because he's just looking a little lost.
I pop because when he asked you what you was looking for, you say anything.
I'm looking for... I don't even know, to be honest.
Deal breaker. You also didn't stand firm as a deal breaker. Like, you couldn't even come up with one thing. You mumbled and stuttered.
Yeah, because then you
I need a man powerful and strong and knows what he wants, you know? What does commitment look like to you? Are you about marriage? What does accountability look like to you?
The same reason as my friend here, the same thing. You just don't know what you want. You don't have any expectations, no boundaries, limits, deal breakers. You don't know what you want.
I do appreciate you sliding, bro, with little to no preparation, my boy. And I do wish you the best in your future endeavors. And next time, I'll make sure you're more prepared. Y'all make some noise for my boy. Come on now. You got your hand back to the back. You want to shake another hand? Okay. You want to go?
This boy asked me to go on a date, and I said, yes, I'll go on a date with you. He said, okay, where you want to go? I said, we can do like dinner and a helicopter ride. He talking about you want to do all that for a first date?
That's not a lot. That's not a lot. What you mean that's not a lot? You said dinner and a helicopter ride. Never in my days, gang. Who you think you is? If asking for too much was a person, gang. In this economy, you want to take a helicopter ride? Who the you think you talking to, G? We ain't getting it like that, man. You take this food, you take this 4 for 4, and you gon' love it. Nah, but for real, a helicopter ride is like insane, gang. And the fact that you don't think it's insane, then you said and made this face like it was some normal, gang. You not telling them all that you really like or you really interested in, that you want them to take you on a helicopter ride for the first encounter? Out of here. Now I can see if I'm been talking for a little minute, you feel me? Then you deserve it, you feel me? You deserve like that, man. You deserve the top tier. But first, we just getting to know each other. You want to get to know each other in a helicopter? Can you pay for that? I ain't gonna lie. Don't ask me to take you nowhere you can't afford yourself, gang. If you can't afford that yourself, shut the up talking to me. And shut it the up right now. Well, finna go to Dave & Buster's and you gonna love it. I can show you how to have a good time on a budget.
Sometimes you gotta go to a small town outside of Boston to find where the men are at. It may be hard to hear, but there's still good men out in the world, okay? Recently, this article about it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend went viral. It was an article on Vogue, and I found the article quite interesting. To be honest, there was a lot of true statements, but I think a lot of women are in this perpetual state of saying there's no men out there, all the men are trash, dating is trash, we're just gonna be out here by ourselves, we're gonna do you. And that is fine. That is an okay decision. But I also want you to understand there's still men in this world that value being chivalrous. There's still men in this world that want to be good to women. I recently spoke at a school, and there was a group of young gentlemen, and they were just all just so kind, and they're waiting on our needs, and they're like, oh, can we help you? And I was like, maybe they're like in a corner of Boston somewhere. Maybe part of of the problem is all of us women are fishing in the same pool. You know, we're all fishing in Atlanta, DC, and New York. Sometimes you got to go to a small town outside of Boston to find where the men are at, right? But I also think there's an element of these century men. I feel like there's this narrative of men are not good, dating is trash, there's nothing going out there. And I think when you keep fooling your mind with that, you're going to attract that. I always tell people you attract what you are. And if you put out there and you think that dating's not good and good things are not happening for you, that's what it's going to be. You know, but when you put out there that dating is going to flow and everything's going to happen for you, and you still believe in good men, you still believe in being treated like a princess, you still believe there's a man that wants to see you as a queen as you are, then I feel like that's what is going to happen for you. I want to see more of that conversation, and I think that conversation is going to help all of us in the dating world.
Let me go put child support on myself so I can establish my rights as a father. So when I go do it myself, this ain't getting sole custody, it's joint now. It's a difference between having joint, it's 50-50. You don't get all the whole income tax sharing when it's joint. See what I'm talking about, boy and girl? So now, I'm gonna go down there, let me get joint. I ain't no non-custodial yet now, I want joint. You ain't just finna give me weekends and every other weekend. And no, I want some of them days during the week too, especially when it's a little bitty, baby. And it ain't no school. So that's the first thing I did. Yeah. Now when you go to school, I'm the emergency contact. I can go pick them up. So when it's time to enroll them, you showing up there too. I got some say so too now.
Charleston is a very smart individual. Most of you have attempted to do this and failed miserably. He seemed to have done it correctly because he specifically stated, I'm not a non-custodial parent. I ain't waiving none of my rights. I need all of my parental rights. Because most of you go in and get joint legal custody, but you forget the physical aspect. So when you go in, because there's parental alienation and you file for custody and you just demand joint legal, they give you that like free cheese. But when you don't claim the physical, they presume that you're waiving your rights and now you've abandoned your children pursuant to the 1935 and 75 Social Security Act. And now you have this obligation to actually pay child support. So that's where you go wrong at. The only thing that I will add to this is I educate people how to go get physical custody without going to child support. And I don't actually believe that he allowed them to take his money because he's a very smart individual. Childsupportisfraud.com. We still taking care of our kids because this ain't no get out of jail free card. And you can't even use my income against me because there's case law that we ain't even finna play those games.
And you know, it's funny because a lot of these modern women, they'll come to a first date with a list of things, literal lists of things that they're expecting from a guy. I want your therapist. I want the exact number. I want the exact number of therapy sessions that you've gone to within the last 3 weeks. How long were they? What object lessons did you learn from that? Which the object lessons I really don't have a problem with, but they want to grill you on the questions that they want to know. But all it takes from you is one question, 2 questions, one question actually. Let me jump it back down to one question. What do you bring to the table? And then the date is over. They didn't ask you about your family history. And then one question is like, oh yeah, you're pretty thorough. Now, let me go ahead and ask you. What do you bring to the table? Oh man, insulting.